Welcome everybody to the maiden episode of the TokuBrew podcast. I am one of your many hosts, Adam Prime, and with me is my ever lovely fiance and co-host and many other hosts of this podcast.
I'm Stormy! Hello!
Yes.
I voiced Mother of Ultra one time, and I hold Bellerock.
You're ruining the magic!
I am the magic.
Yes, and many contributor to my videos if you have seen any. I have my doubts.
I watch them.
Well, yeah. I'd make me feel bad. I might have to cut that out.
I'm a little behind. I need to catch up.
Oh, so you actually haven't? Okay.
I've watched most of them.
But alright. And on this maiden voyage, we are going to talk about the newest Kamen Rider, which came out on my birthday, on September 5th. So, this is the first episode, and first Kamen Rider series, that I feel like I've actually seen that's come out on my birthday. I know O's has, came out on September 5th.
The best boy.
But I think going on, we'll have a lot more stuff to discuss. We just kind of are doing this to get the first episode out there.
By the way, it's Revice. I don't know if we said that.
Yes, Kamen Rider Revice. He is a dinosaur.
Yeah.
He's gonna come up and get on the floor. He's gonna do the dinosaur.
He already is the dinosaur.
Shoot.
Oh, no.
Alright. So, this was fun.
Yeah, what were your thoughts?
This was...
We just watched the first episode, by the way.
Yeah, this is like the freshest of reactions, I guess, or thoughts.
Yeah. And we only watched it once, so, I mean, maybe we'll catch a few more details if we were to watch it a second time, but, you know, just like our first run-through,
yeah,
first
this is
thoughts.
the first impressions. And I enjoyed it. There's a lot of parts, but then, again, there were a lot of moments where I kept thinking of, like, what in God's name they were thinking for that Saber crossover episode. Like, it just...
Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
It felt so different. And, okay, before we get any further...
Do you want me to do it?
No, before we get into it, before we get any further in talking about Revice, if you want to know about the stuff about Vice's actor who's terrible, I don't think we're going to be getting into this in this podcast. We're just here to talk about the episode and the show. If you want to know what he did, look into it.
The information is out there. We're just, as much as, you know, that is important and it is worth discussing, and we don't support that, it's not what this is about. This is talking about the show. This is talking about the characters, not the actors, not any of that baggage. That's just like, you know, another time, and a lot of people are talking about it now. So if you want to hear that information, it's out there. It's easily accessible, but that's just not what we're discussing at the moment.
And officially starting. So we start out in South America.
And like, what was it, 1970?
1971. Something? It's supposed to be 50 years because the 50th anniversary of Kamen Rider.
Woo.
And supposedly Kamen Rider is supposed to be fiction in this world, but we kind of didn't get any references outside of the one guy who we already knew was going to be giving most of the references, because like he did the Ichigo pose when he told
him
Iki. Is Iki his name? Revi?
I don't remember.
Revi?
Revi, I believe, is the main writer's name.
Yes.
I don't know who the one scientist's name is.
Well, yeah, I don't remember his name. Like, it's the first episode. Anyone who expects me to remember names.
Do you want to talk about what we saw in Saber first? Because that was absolutely baffling. Just as is, and now seeing this first episode, it's even crazier, in my opinion.
Are you mostly thinking about the fart jokes?
Yes.
It's like you were expecting. It was so weird that it was just like they were having him fart. Like, he farted like 8 times and he was only in the episode for what, 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Like, why did they have the weird thing
At
with
least
Vice
twice.
farting?
I don't know.
And
I actually had a small running theory in my head that because of, that actor that is playing that character being kind of trash, I had the running theory of, oh, they already have a lot of the actual series itself set up. So I wonder if the person that wrote this specific episode was like, oh, I'm going to make this guy look like a jerk. Like, I'm going to have him, like, farting in their faces. I'm wondering if it's true or if we're going to see more of that later, but it was just so weird to just be in the middle of like a Saber episode and then suddenly some guy they're just panning in on his butt and just letting him fart in our face. I was shook.
Like, I can't remember who wrote that episode. Maybe it's one of the 12 the writer actually wrote in Saber, but we're not going to be talking about that. We're moving on. So South America.
Saber.
So yeah, they pretty much just set up, like, they found a demon stamp, and then somebody released a demon, and now we have a cult.
No, they said that the stamps are a way of making contracts with your inner demons. By the way, I wasn't expecting it to be like an inner demon thing. I thought it was just going to be demons, so that
just
was a
regular demons.
Pleasant surprise.
But yeah, like, so that's something they stated, and it was really weird.
I think it's cool.
It's neat. I'm not gonna deny that. Like, and it also makes sense, where it's like, if that's how they're also supposed to reflect off their owner, where it's like, because I remember some people saying that, like, Revi, I don't know how to pronounce it at the moment, or in Vice felt very similar personality wise, but if it's like, well, if he's supposed to be maybe the parts that he doesn't like about himself, and that's what Vice is, like, that over out there, just kind of getting in your face kind of person, and in, like, he's just like, because we saw that he could be loud, like, and everything, and it's like, he was very much like, oh, I'm gonna do it kind of thing.
Yeah, not to mention just the overwhelming support and love for his family. He made a giant flag for his brother, just being like a soccer match, funny enough, where they just wave giant flags, like, yeah, go, bro.
And that's also the plot twist of the century of his whole family is here.
None of them are dead. My God.
None of them are dead, missing, evil, had a secret plot, faked his own death, just wants to kill his son.
A weird trope for Kamen Rider, just murderous dads.
Yeah.
Or murderous friends' dads.
It's like that old saying goes, Kamen Rider is about peace, love, and fighting your dad. And or your friend's dad. And...
But anyway, let's get a little bit further into the episode.
But, like, yeah, like, I do... But, like, that... Well, let's say that's getting into the episode is talking about his family. Like, yeah. You set up that he works at this bathhouse, which is nice that he's not wearing anything ridiculous, I would say. It just looks like... Well, no, just the past couple of years have also had, like, these
That's
more,
fair.
like...
That's fair.
Sellable outfits. Like, this you could sell his sweater, but nobody's gonna be like, oh, man, I had to buy his exclusive cosplay pants that Premium Bandai selling for 8,000 yen.
It's true, but it is really funny to go from... Because it's been happening for so many years, I think at least beginning with... I think X8, maybe even like Ghost or something. Like, it's just
it started
our norm.
Since Double.
It's our norm now that it's just like, oh, people are wearing these very much just sellable outfits, even if they are supposed to look like quote unquote normal. Like, it's very much like a identifiable thing. And this guy, he just looks like a dude, and I kind of love it.
Like, because we have Double, and they sold like Double onward. Because come on, Double, they definitely were there. They sold like the wind scale hats. And then, like, O's, he wore a Grateful Dead t-shirt. But they didn't sell that on Premium Bandai. But we're not here to talk about outfits. I don't know why. But, like, yeah, he just dressed like a dude. But also, it was really interesting that we saw that beforehand, we see this organization. I think it's called, like, Flex or something.
I don't remember, sadly.
Or Flanks or something. It's something like that. Was made the belts and everything, and like they're aware of it, and they have candidates for it, and the candidate was his brother, his younger brother, yeah, because he's the oldest sibling, if I remember correctly.
I don't remember. Sadly.
And that was neat, that they did that, where it's like, oh, his brother is part of this organization.
Yeah.
The
I think
I'm about to say
he just got promoted to like captain
yeah,
or something in
I
them.
think something like that. They were trying to say it's like he was the youngest captain, so it's like at least it made sense why he would have gotten the belt,
Mm-hmm.
but that's neither here nor there.
I really feel.
He's probably going to be a writer.
Yeah, I imagine that either you think he's going to be a writer. I'm wondering if they're going to go down the road of because his brother kind of inadvertently took his glory. It looks like he tries to give it back because he's like, "Well, I did what I need to do. Here you go." It really looks like he might end up with like some sort of complex of like, "Oh, he stole my thunder," and he has like that inner demon probably eating at him away. And you think he'll become a writer because of it. I'm wondering if he'll just unleash a crazy monster because of it when he does end up doing something with a stamp.
I think there's might be something special with certain people and like maybe bloodlines or something, because I think it's been confirmed in toy stuff that we know of. Like I can't remember because it's all either rumors or I can't remember what was confirmed. Is he does become a writer, if I remember correctly?
Who knows?
Correctly, I was just thinking if they do go that way, because obviously he has his brother has Vice.
Mm-hmm.
It's like maybe whatever his demon is just really doesn't like his brother, because it's like that's all his spite from doing that, where it's like it's pretty much his brother's always trying to take the weight off somebody else's shoulder. Is trying to take take the weight off everyone's soul. I can't.
You can do it.
Shoulders.
There you go.
And talking for stuff you want to work on. I'm real good at it, if you can't tell.
Oh yeah, I've seen the outtakes.
The
things that you don't see, just him. Every other sentence, just blah, 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 blah.
But like even like you find out he get like I think his name is Iki. He gave up his dreams of being like a pro soccer player, so he can take on the family bathhouse pretty much.
I feel like I'm realizing this kind of like as we speak. I wonder if a part of that is because he can see that each of his family members, even including his dad at this point, have very distinct dreams. Like his sister is basically like a karate star. His dad is constantly like
wanting to do videos. His
His
dad is weird, which
like
they setting up his dad as being weird.
But I wonder if that's because he can see that they have a lot of dreams and potential, and he doesn't want them to give that up. So he takes on the responsibility of the family business so they can pursue other things.
Well, outside of the mom is very much, you gotta work and make sure our bathhouse is great.
It had the funniest response, like at the very end of the episode when she woke up and she's like, "Are you slacking off? Get back to work." And they just kind of like, "That's mom." She has a concussion.
By the way, thanks for skipping ahead. That his mom, something happens to his mom.
But well, I didn't say something happened. I said she woke up from sleep. Oh, she was just taking a nap. What are you talking about?
But like,
do you want to talk about the villains, or
we'll talk about the villains. There's not real. Well, after we're done talking about like him and his family,
sure.
But like you see, like he takes on all the he's taking on, like you said, all this responsibility. So it's like, because obviously, maybe not his sister, but him and his brother seem like they're more of an adult, like thing. Because obviously his brother's like this becoming this captain and everything.
The sister might be the youngest. Well,
it's like sure. I don't know if it's like I don't know.
They said it once, and I didn't fully
I'm imagining.
catch it.
They said each one it was of each. Mm-hmm. Like he's the oldest. The brother captain was is the middle child, and then she's the youngest. But
so I was right.
You're right. Well, I'm just confirming.
Excuse me. Actually, you're right.
I was just explaining to you so you can concretely understand. But
again, we'll probably end up watching and understanding more as this.
I will probably watch this again before I do my actual video for this first episode. Mm-hmm. But it is interesting to see that you're probably right. Is like he gave up his dream so everyone else could have theirs. Like have that older brother responsibility of being like, hey, I want to be a good son, so I'm going to help my parents make sure they can do what they still want to do. Mm-hmm. And then he's also trying to be the good older brother, being like, I want to make sure my siblings can do what they want to do. And what's it cost him?
his dream.
His dream, but
And
like,
they probably maybe he even has like a little bit of underlying spite.
well, yeah.
Because if you think about it, I'm
What's
realizing
Vites?
now.
He's always after glory.
During like the big conflict of the episode, when a lot of the things happen, he becomes the Kamen Rider for the first time. I'm realizing the first thing that Vice, the demon inside of him, did when he made a contract with him was try to go and eat his mom. So it makes me wonder if, like, he has a little bit of underlying spite for his mom. Because he loves his family, absolutely no doubt. He loves his mom. But maybe he has a little bit of underlying spite of, I don't want to do this, I wanted to have my dream, but I kind of have to.
Oh, it's his darker thoughts.
Like, his, like, the thoughts that you push down because you know that they're, like, just out of anger and spite. And you know
his inner demons.
His inner demons.
Whoa! But overall, that was, like, before we get back to, like, all the stuff with the Vice stuff, because you just jumped the gun with attacking his mom.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to have a natural conversation.
No, it's fine. It's just, like, I guess, yeah, we talked about the brother. Yeah, the sister we really just kind of got was Karate Champ. That's all we got.
Yeah, I saw her punching some demons in the face. It was pretty rad.
So, yeah, that was about it. And we pretty much said what the dad was. He liked videos, and he's kind of weird, and everyone acknowledges it. Or at least the younger sister says he's weird.
I really liked the joke that they had with the dad, where he went off about some sort of, like, world record.
Jump rope.
The most, like, times bungee jumping, not jumping rope. That's much more mundane. The most times, like, bungee jumping off of, I believe, like, a dam or a cliff or something. It's like, oh, the most amount of times filmed is, like, 10,000 and blah, blah, blah. And they're like, wow, how far did you get? And he just kind of, like, looks like 2.
Hey, no, he seemed real proud.
It got a good chuckle at me, like, I got to 2.
Like,
I did it.
And, like, the mom was just like, good job. And then, like,
yay.
And then,
brave.
like, Iki was just like, and? Okay. And, like, and the sister just seems unamused with his antics.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, he'll be an interesting part of that. Like, it's gonna.
Again, I can't wait to see more.
I can't wait to see more.
A very wholesome family
so far,
dynamic.
yeah. Like,
I
it doesn't feel like too of, like, an off family dynamic, which is nice.
It feels natural. That a lot of the actors already, I can tell, have a lot of chemistry.
Which is good. And I guess now we can talk about the villains,
I was very thrown off with the sombrero.
He wants mariachi.
Oh, what's the one? Like, I don't know if he's still around or not. I'm not very up to date with my Mexican media, but there's like he's basically Mexican Elvis. What is his name? Is Frida? What is his name? I can't remember at the moment.
Santa Fernandez.
I think so. But I don't know, I made the joke of he just, like, busts down through the door, like, I'm here to take your demons. Making a pose.
Oh my god, doing that. Yeah, it's like, what, like, mariachi.
There seems to be, like, some sort of, like, Latin theme.
I thought you were gonna go with the Zamigo thing from Lupin vs. Potter Ranger. I thought you were gonna make that kind of joke. Because you remember Ice Dude.
Oh, yeah.
Ice Cowboy.
I didn't even think about him. But yeah, it just seems like... Because I think the one lady... I swear I've seen this actress before. From
dancer.
Something. I was about to say, it almost kind of reminds me of, like, a tango dress.
Yeah.
But, she gives me... I don't remember this character's name, sadly. I have a bad memory, if you can't tell. The nurse from Drive.
Oh, Medic.
The medic, yeah. Like,
no, her name is Medic.
Oh. Medic. She reminded me a lot of that character. Even though, like, she's very obviously different. I don't know, I got those kind of vibes from her. It was really interesting.
Is not wrong, and it's not a bad way to think of it.
How funny would it have been if when they busted through the door during that celebration that they messed up, how funny would it be if they just started playing mariachi music?
Oh my god! Just like if they bust down, just
trumpets. You get what's that call that they do before?
I can't remember.
Oh, what's the name?
I can't remember.
Where they? I feel so sad. I can't remember. I feel. Well,
let's just move on.
Okay. If you
if
haven't noticed yet, this is the first time either of us are doing anything like this, so be gentle. We're trying.
Please be soft.
What even was that?
It's definitely not my Pooh Bear.
Well, it's definitely something you should probably stop doing, so...
I blame
push
you.
you away from the microphone.
But yeah, that's pretty much the villains. Like, I don't know.
We
Like,
don't know
but say one, like, the other two, outside of, like, the one that you were saying, which is obviously, like, the leader, because they were, like, saying she was the fiance of the main villain.
Haha. Oh yeah, she like he's like in a cocoon. I'm pretty sure that was.
Is that him?
I don't remember his name. The guy at the very very beginning when they show in 1971. Who's
Indiana Jones.
I just called him Indiana Jones. Like I'm pretty sure that was his demon, right? Or at least him or something. Like that's what I'm assuming.
I'm not quite sure.
But
yeah, like there's not a lot about the villains.
we didn't get a lot. A lot of this was focusing on him and his family, and I can understand that.
Which
again,
well, yeah,
especially
it's
for
like
a
it's
first
the first episode, and honestly, I do like his family dynamic. It's fun, and like you said, there's really not much.
I do have. Do you want to talk about Suits? Because I got a lot to say about Suits.
We can talk about Suits in a second.
Sure.
Because I just wanted to say this, where it's like, honestly, like if I had to describe the villains, it was like leader, head of cult, sombrero, and shirtless. That's them to me right now. I don't know their names.
What a cast.
And so yeah, pretty much let's get to the scene where the suits show up first, I guess.
Sure. Again,
like it was pretty much like they go to like they were setting up like his brother is becoming captain, and like it was the youngest they've ever been, and they're going in there as Stormy mentioned earlier. They were waving a flag. Iki was just like, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna ask everyone to come. I made this flag.
Woo!
And like he was going to town with it.
They very much embarrassed him because the guy next to him was like, "Dude, is that your family?" He's like, no. No. him in the background just woo, swinging the just giant flag with his name on it. It's like, yeah, definitely not my family. Just random people
that know my name. But like that.
I mean, I don't feel like there's that much to say.
Well, like other than that, it's like the monsters show up. Like that's it.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's like the debut of like the belt, explaining what it is, and. At first, I thought this was gonna be a very like, oh, it's like a taboo, whatever, because you're making contract with your inner demon, and it basically almost kills you, as far as I could tell. Oh. And now it's like, oh, it's actually that's my research. This is me trying to find out a way of using it for a good reason. And those guys went off and started doing evil things with them. So I developed this belt.
Well, it was his dad.
Oh, his dad.
I think his dad died. Made the belt. I think his dad made the stamps.
His dad passively just kind of mentioned that was his father's research, and he passed.
Yeah, like who's main scientist guy?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, should we have mentioned the criminal that they made a stamp demon of?
Yeah, it looked a lot like Mammoth from 01. I'm realizing.
Well, it was a mammoth, which is Deno in this show. I don't know. And
I mean, is it really even worth mentioning that much? Except for, they got a criminal, got his inner demon, which was something, which makes sense. It's something very strong, and they used it to, mess some stuff up with.
Yeah,
it's not really worth.
And then pretty much the demons show up. They're just like, the undead. I'm sorry, the dead man. I think
it was dead man. Yeah.
Dead man tell no tales. The dead man just show up and are pretty much just. They pretty much just show up to kill everyone? I'm not sure. I don't know. Were they coming for the stamp?
I'm not fully sure. I feel like more needs to be explained in more episodes.
Yeah.
As far as I could tell, they were just kind of trying to do a test run of their new demon friend that could break through walls. They want to go and I think either murder or eat people, and I think they were going to try and make more demons.
I guess.
Again, we watched this a minute ago.
But yeah, other than that, like the captain, or the commander, I'm not quite sure. It's he was one of the higher ups telling everyone, be like, oh, welcome to coming to our upgrade festival today. what do you think is going on? And then like he tries to use the belt, which apparently if you're commander of this organization, you're not good enough to use the belt because he made another demon.
He died.
He didn't die.
Well, I mean, he didn't look very alive laying on the floor, so can you blame me?
He's just napping.
And then, like, his brother ended up, like, use it. It was made for you. And then
the
he
scientist
basically,
guy.
he chokes and he just can't under the pressure. He almost gets run over. And Revi comes over and just tackles him out of the way, like, dude, get yourself together. And
he tries
using the stamp and using the belt.
Well, no, because Vice has been talking to him the whole episode.
Uh-huh.
And, like, he was just like, Vice was like, well, if you use a stamp, you could get me out, and I can help you fight, and you can win. And all of a sudden,
protect your family, because it's like, his family's under attack, and his mom in particular is getting attacked.
And so he does the stamp thing, and then Vice shows up, literally helps them for 3 seconds, and then tries to eat his mom. It lasted all of 3 seconds. That he was like, yeah, I'll help you. Haha, JK, I'm gonna eat your mom. And then, like, the scientist guy was like, hey, put on the belt.
You
can control him with the belt. And then he transforms.
It makes me wonder if there will be hijinks with that later, where maybe he's just running around, like, misbehaving or just causing stuff, and he just, like, slaps on the belt and is like, no, stop that. Bad dog.
Maybe, who knows. Which, that was another thing that the episode with 01 did that made no sense. Of, like, every time Vice wanted to come out and talk, he had to come out of a hole.
Why did you have to describe it like that?
Because it wasn't just like, oh, he came out his ear. No, he came out his mouth, he came out his nose. Like, he did that in that whole episode. Okay, also he came out his butt.
Did he?
I think so.
Class. Very, very classy.
Like he didn't do that at all. He was just kind of like yelling at Vice every time he showed up to ghost him, and like
beating him up and stuff.
And then like
I realized I wasn't like facing the microphone, so I wonder if I just sound like a ghost in the background instead of actually talking into a microphone.
I might edit that out.
Who's to say? Anyway, we've been talking about this for a while.
Well,
I kind of want to get on to, like, the suits and stuff.
Well, I was about to say, I'm like, and that's...
I don't feel like there's that much more
Well,
to talk
I'm saying,
about.
like, that's it. I think that's the go-home now, is just to talk about the suits, because he pretty much uses the belt, stops him from eating his mom, and they save the day, and then he's like, I'm done, I'm going home. And the suits are pretty slick.
I love these suits. These are right up my alley when it comes to aesthetic or whatever. Aesthetic.
You said the same thing last year.
Don't make me cry. I felt like Saber was basically pandering to me, and then I saw this, and I'm like, is there hope? Is this gonna be a good one?
I like his bear trap mouth.
Oh my gosh, I love the pinks. I love the blues. I love that it basically just looks like a giant shark mouth. I just... nice sharp teeth.
And, like, yeah.
I don't know. I love it.
It looks really cool.
I mean, I don't really know quite what to say with it. I do like that they gave Vice, like, a scarf, almost, that he's, like, hiding behind. It looks like
he's wearing a hoodie.
Because one thing we didn't mention about Vice's, like, original form, where he doesn't have any armor or anything, he almost has, like, a cloth face mask.
Yeah, he's totally wearing a face mask.
It's very obviously, like, what it is. It has, like, the ear holes and everything.
Yeah, like, he's wearing it, like, how you would.
It makes me wonder if that's, like, just him, or if he's wearing a mask for some reason.
Yeah.
Wear your mask, kids.
Yeah, is that what the demons try to tell you? Are we
my
trying to
demons are telling me to wear my mask.
Maybe that's what anti-maskers think.
Dun dun dun.
But yeah, listen to demons, kids. They'll give you health tips.
I don't really know quite what else to say other than I love the colors, I love the shapes, I love.
Yeah, I like
so
that the T-Rex logo is on each of their titties.
Okay, so we are saying the no words, I guess. I've been saying, like, stuff and butt over here. And you're just like, titties!
Hey, titty's not a bad word.
Gonna wash your mouth out with soap, young man.
I'm gonna make you see a titmouse.
Okay, anyway, so one of the things that still kind of baffles me about his suit, funny enough, I mean, no. Well, that came out of nowhere.
What? You didn't remember the thing where he stamped himself in the titty and then he got thunder thigh dinosaur legs and it went.
That's what you're talking about. You caught me so off guard with that.
I knew that's not what you were gonna say.
You've shown me videos of this. I've seen it plenty of times in, like previews, and obviously just now when we were watching it, like when the belt goes from like on the top of the belt and then it like swivels into facing outward. I don't know why, but my brain can't process what is going on there, and I like want to see in like slow motion to see like how exactly it's like flipping into. I know it's super simple, but my brain keeps just going magic. How?
I know how we can solve that. We just buy the belt.
I don't know. It's episode 1. Are you willing to take a risk? Because I almost bought Saber's stuff because I was like, ooh, swords, books, fantasy, dragons, bubbles, I'm in! And then I cried because it was not very good.
But sometimes a toy line can be better than a show.
Ouch, wow, them's be some fighting words.
If you're from the 80s, you know that for a fact.
That's true. That's fair.
Like
this is based off of the 70s, so
yeah, like, and sometimes that's how it is. And I'm gonna say I was just saying it almost as a joke, but yeah, no, the belt looks really nice, and obviously the stamps.
I love the gimmick.
Those stamps are big.
Yeah, those are huge. And it looks like they're gonna be selling, I imagine, some sort of. It almost reminds me of like the little like ride watch trees that we see where they have like, are they just disers?
Yeah, they're doing that.
Are they just disers or are they actually called trees?
They're like little flappy things.
I don't know. Remember what they're called. But if you don't know them, during 01 they had ride watches that you could click into like
01?
Did I say 01? I meant Geo. I'm sorry.
The disers? Oh yeah, the disers.
Yeah, you can like click the ride watches into this like circular
the ride watch tree
gray thing, and you could stack them on top of each other and basically just make a giant tree. And I saw something kind of similar to the stamps in one of like the bumpers, or they just looked like they were kind of dangling from something, and I was immediately intrigued.
That looked really
intrigued.
But yeah, that's something they're doing. Is another thing like that, which they've been doing every year when you think about it after Geo. Like, like 01 had like those stick things you could hold 4 progress keys in. You couldn't link them up, but they did
still
that.
Really cool.
Which as like that's something I really think is funny about Saber's toy line. They gave you a bunch of little bookshelves that you could clink and connect together, so you could have like your own little library. Which
again,
is
it sounds so cool. I legitimately like wish I liked this show more, just so I could buy the toys and not just be like.
It's super funny.
By the way, I just want to say, if you like Saber, no hate towards you. I'm glad that you could like this show. That's just my personal opinion. Don't hate me.
But yeah, like, no, both suits are really nice. I can't wait to see the other forms, which we already saw Megalodon in the Saber special episode.
Did we?
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's just him doing his best Decade cosplay.
Chompy. Oh, yeah, I totally forgot that they're based off of writers as well.
Yes.
I don't know what their logic was with some of them, but...
It's so ridiculous. Like, Kuga's with Lion. Like, the one that obviously makes sense is the Grasshopper one is Ichigo.
And that's about the last one that makes sense as well.
Well, Vice...
The first and the last.
Well, Revice just makes sense because that's meant for him, but so it had to match up.
By the way, finally, our first common writer dinosaur, like... For some reason, obviously in Sentai, it's just prevalent. There's dinosaurs everywhere. I'm shocked it took them this long to do a dinosaur.
But also only kind of, because there's, Monkey.
Monkey.
Yeah, because when you think of the Rocket Forze, a Rocket Man, lives in space.
I mean...
High schooler. you think of gorillas.
To be fair, they did use monkeys for space travel, but I mean, I feel like that's a
I think
bit of a stretch.
That's a bit of a stretch of why they're like, make him a gorilla. Like, I don't know. Are they going to actually use gorilla this year, or are they going to say Kong again?
I don't know. One thing that I, surprisingly, like, once I saw it on the toy, I was all for. I forget the name of the toy, but when you press the stamp down onto the driver, it actually like leaves the imprint of the toy on it it's like that one that you would.
It's Magma Doodle.
Is that what it's called, Magma Doodle, where you would make a little drawing and then it has a little knob that you could just and it would erase your drawing and you can.
Yeah, like a Magna Doodle.
Yeah.
Better than magic pads.
I don't regret my magic pads. There's a reference for you. But and I'm loving the gimmick. I don't know why.
They're big boys.
Like,
they make sounds, which
I
is
have
cool.
no interest in the stamps, but I think they remind me a lot of Build's bottles, and that's why I like them so much, just because those were really intricate and pretty.
Don't lie. You know it's because they're Kamen Rider lava lamps.
They do kind of look like lava lamps. It's from the 70s.
And like it's super funny to see like all three shows are having big anniversaries, which everyone's like, oh, we just had Geo. Why are we doing another anniversary show? But that was mostly for Heisei, which I hope means we're gonna see more Showa stuff. Which supposedly again there are more Showa stamps showing up, so that's cool. And then you have it's super funny though to look at the toy lines for each one differently. Like when you go over to Sentai, which is doing their 45th anniversary, is all the Sentai gears and everything are Gashapon and candy toys. And you're just like, there's no DX ones to be seen. But then with Revice, they're like, DX everything. It gets lights, sounds, whatever else we need.
We'll give you a birth certificate with it if you want.
Like, they're doing this real big, nice, beautiful box art for this Amazon exclusive set.
That is a really pretty artwork.
It's like it has all the writers on it ever.
Yeah, I think it also comes with a book, right?
It comes with the bundle itself. There's two different ones where it's like the one we're talking about right now is like it comes with the belt, the grasshopper stamp, the T-Rex stamp, and the gun. And
we've only seen the axe so far, so that'll be interesting.
But the axe gun thing that's like the exclusive set for Amazon Japan.
Yeah.
And they have another set which is available everywhere, which is like they do these special sets often of where it comes with 2 gimmicks instead of 1 now, even though back in the day you could probably get some that came with 5 gimmicks. Rip my heart. And they sold, and it comes with the book that is called The History of Transformation Belts, which that's really cool, which I'm imagining is a book about all the things.
I imagine, which would be really cool.
I just kind of want that book.
Okay, I know that we've been talking about the gimmicks and stuff. I kind of want to backtrack a little bit when it comes to suits, because I just have to say, oh my god, I loved those grunt suits. I love a good grunt suit. These reminded me a lot of the Genom Dangerous Zombie.
So you're saying they made mini Dans?
Can you imagine just everywhere?
Oh no.
Oh god.
Somebody would be upset.
Oh, that'd be terrifying. They'd start a cult of themselves. But I immediately saw them, was just like, yes, I love them.
You know what sucks?
What?
There will only be probably one type of figure you can get that in, and that's Soto. And who knows how that will turn out. So, which, nothing bad against Soto, it's just stickers.
Stickers!
Even though those figures are really good. Meanwhile, every time...
I lost my mind a couple of times.
Soto is one of those lines that it's super funny now because we get them now and they've gotten better and better and better. But, like, the whole first wave of their any line, even Saber, has the previous writer's characters in it. Like when 01 started, he had all these Geo characters that got thrown in. When Saber started, you had all the leftover 01 characters. In Revice, we're getting leftover Saber characters and 01 characters. Like, jeez.
Oh, man. I feel so bad for 01. I imagine it'll be a topic for another day when we're talking about, like...
01.
Either 01 or previous writers in general, or maybe talking about, like, some of our favorites.
The Reiwa era.
But, oh my god, I feel so bad for Saber. That show was going
Saber?
so... I can't speak. I'm sorry. I did a lot of driving today. But, yeah, 01. That was such an incredible show. I was so incredibly happy for... Like, I was so happy watching it, and I was loving it. Oh, jeez.
It's okay.
I thought something fell for a second. And then just... It just kind of crashed and died at the end. But I can't really blame that because that was because of,
A little thing. Just a little... That's just something that happened in 2020, but...
Yeah, it's just a little thing. Not a lot of people knew about it. You know, just...
Still in the DL right now, no.
Yeah, it was, little thing going around. Little flu,
Moving on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think we're allowed to say the name.
Are
what was
we?
it? I don't think so. I know that the Game Grumps got around by instead of saying the actual name, they called it the Backstreet Boys Reunion Tour, and I even it would make me cry with laughter because it just be like the serious conversation, and then they say that, and I just died.
But yeah, no, like the monsters look neat. It's like nothing that I really think look like. I'm not like, oh, these monsters look awesome. Like I'll agree with you. The grunts look really rad, and like the main monsters look neat. But, like, the mammoth and the T-Rex demons were kind of like, I'm like, okay. It was kind of also hard to tell what the mammoth demon was trying to be. He was just kind of a bunch of triangles.
Yeah, it was a very, like, abstract. It was, like, kind of an orange. I liked the color, but it seemed like it kind of meddled things together a little bit. Maybe they could have used, like, a couple of other characters, a couple other colors in there. Maybe a little bit of highlight and shadowing to really, like, define what was in there. I don't really know, but... Again, I would have to see it again to, like, really, or maybe even just be, like, looking at it to be like, oh, yes, this, and this.
And I think that's the big takeaway, is this looks solid.
Yeah, so it's a pretty solid beginning so far.
I really liked it. I like that they're...
Very helpful.
Like, I'm glad we finally have a Rider series. We open up. His family is fine. We perfectly see each one of them. His dad isn't missing. His mom's not dead. He's, like, this is actually just a story of a dude living his...
Dude being guy.
Dude running in a... Helping dudes clean their backs in a bathhouse.
Oh, yeah, one thing we didn't mention. Like, maybe the fart jokes will come back with Vice if, like, it turns out, like, oh, that's kind of like the quote-unquote dirty side of him because, obviously, he runs a bathhouse... clean, you know, associated with like relaxation. You know, what if he's just kind of the opposite of that?
Yeah.
Like I just remember we completely forgot to mention that.
Ew. Yeah, it's
but whatever. Do you want to talk about some of the other shows going on right now?
Yeah, we could just kind of make this like the week, what happened this week, even though Trigger hasn't happened. Which Trigger doesn't happen until Friday, so I guess we'll be behind on Trigger. But do you want to talk about Trigger and
Well, I just mean like, what are your thoughts so far? Like
Zenkaiger?
I meant Trigger.
Do you want to do like, Zenkaiger or Trigger first?
Let's do Trigger since it's still kind of new.
It's 4 episodes, 5 episodes in.
Yeah, I feel like that's a decent start.
Overall, I like it. It's well shot. Meanwhile, like that was to come with the director because. Like, the director's, like, one of the bigger, like, known names in Toku, where it's, like, it's, Koichi Sakamoto. He did a bunch of the other ones. Like, you know when he's directing things. And overall, I've really enjoyed it. Meanwhile, it's, like, it kind of sucked that we had to take, like, 2 weeks off because... Super Eye reasons. Like...
Oh, yeah, wasn't there, like, some sort of tournament going on?
No, it's
like
just, they kind of do that. They just kind of, like, Super Eye just does it almost every year. They did it last year with Zet. There was really no reasoning. Like, all the stuff that...
Maybe it's just to give everyone a break.
Well, 4 episodes in?
Hey, you don't know their lives.
Like, it's like, I'm just glad they weren't trying to recap what we already saw. It's like, yeah, I live that. Thank you.
Didn't they do like a recap episode already? Actually,
No, that was in Kaiju.
are you sure? I feel like Trigger did one.
They
I'm
did like a short one, like it was the fast 5 minutes at the end.
To be fair, I think a lot of it had to do with actually Tiga, where it was
Yes.
actually like, oh, like can you see all the correlations? And
It was just them telling you, "Hey, Tiga. Now we have new Tiga."
yeah, I really am enjoying it so far. I feel almost spoiled by the past couple years of
It
Ultra.
was so solid.
There's just been such good stuff one after another, and I wouldn't by any means say that Trigger is bad, but I just feel like compared to like some of the things that I have been watching the past couple years, it's like, oh, these are like great fine wine, it's so good, and this one's like, yeah, this one's good, this one's solid. It is early on though,
But it is only episode 4 or 5.
I will say absolutely I can agree that the camera work, whether it be actually physically there or digital, it doesn't really matter. Like the cinematography and the choreography in this is fantastic. Like a lot of this I think did come from some of the past movies that we've been watching with what was the Zero one that we watched that I kept being like, oh, this is really good.
Oh, Mega Monster Battle.
Yeah, Mega
Ultra
Monster.
Galaxy the movie.
That mouthful.
Watch that video, Mal.
Very good video, I agree. But yeah, like it's just so good. Like it's because like with Ultras, they kind of got comfortable just being like, oh, here's a long shot and them fighting in the city. I mean, not to say that it was bad. It was still interesting, but you know, it's like it's so really refreshing to see all this. Not to mention the humans feel competent again. Like not like the characters aren't. I mean, oh, humans can do things. Like because in like some of the older Ultra shows, we saw that oh, they would have like little guns and they could fire them at the kaiju, and it would actually do something. And
you know when you could shoot a revolver at Godzilla,
and he'd actually say "ow."
He'd be like, "Ow!"
Yeah, and I actually kind of like that they're bringing it back.
Well, it's not the first time, but like it's the first time where it's like the natural sidearm, like because they did it in X too, that it like became like a little gun. But like you see them like without using like the kaiju keys, which gives them powered up attacks. You just see them regularly, just being like pew pew pew. Oh yeah,
and it's actually doing stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, do you want me to hand it to you?
No.
I know you want to.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's just they walk around and they're just. I have the gun for sound effects, which. If the toys are fun.
If you've noticed, oh, careful. If you've noticed anything when it comes to his show, I imagine you'll be like, huh, he must be a toy collector because there's like, he's surrounded by them. Let me tell you this firsthand, that's not all of them.
It's gonna collapse on top of me, and that's how I'm gonna not be found.
Bury me in my toys. Yes, he is very much a collector. I love it. It's wonderful.
It's a cool thing. But
I collect things as well. I have stuffed animals.
We will talk about collections at some point.
At some point, that could honestly be probably
that could be a
thing.
fun topic about talking about certain things. I would want to get some other guests on here too, because I think I have some people in mind to talk to as well.
Oh yeah, and they've said before that they'd like to, so yeah that'd be nice.
I imagine.
But anyway, yeah, I'm also really enjoying the characters from Trigger.
Trigger's fun. I do. Again, it's super funny because it's like a lot of people. There's two sides of the fence. I hear a lot of people saying, "Man, I feel like I'm missing a lot because I haven't watched Tiga," and then other people are like, "Well, all the stuff you need to know about Tiga, they told you." And that's just kind of it.
I feel like you don't really need to.
You don't. It's like that's ultimately what like the people who have seen it have come to is just like, hey, you don't have to have watched it. And like yeah, I like the villains. It was neat that each of the Darkness Giants got one of their own episodes.
What was that one fan theory going around about Tiga and?
The little joke theory I had because I'm like,
that was you.
I bet you there were some people thinking where it's like, oh, Tiga, Trigger, like, is the son of Tiga, where it's like somehow like the Ultra before like he turned good or something had a son and that's Trigger. Where I was like, oh, what if the theory instead of that theory that this is a Chimera or something like that, Chimera. Or something, Camella. We're gonna call her Camella, the main Darkness Giant.
The main female one.
Yeah, and she, like, I'm like, what if that's just his daughter? Like, everyone's thinking it's gonna be Trigger that's related to him, but it's him. It's her.
By the way, can I just say that just no matter like whatever ends up happening, whether they're related or complete strangers, there is just such obvious sexual tension between her and whoever the past Trigger was. She's just like, why did you leave me?
Well, she's like...
You never called back!
Yeah, well, like, she's definitely, like, how... Because, I watched... You didn't watch it with me, but I watched the Heroes Odyssey episodes, and they replayed some of those scenes, and like that's even how the original one felt when she was with Tiga. She was like, how could you betray me? You loved me, but then you left me for humans. How could you do... You're so... And like whipping him, and I'm just like... And all of a sudden when I saw this happening in Trigger, I'm like, man, they have the same issues. Like,
it's so funny because with Trigger, oh my gosh, what's his name? Kengo. I keep forgetting. It's so funny because the first time that she did that, he was just so confused.
He's like,
she's like splashing him in this giant mud pile, and he's just like, what's happening?
Oh my god.
Can I just make like a little quick comment for a second?
What?
I watched Little Shop of Horrors for the first time.
Sure, throw this in.
And I'd never seen the movie before. Obviously, I'd heard of it, and I'd seen Audrey the Second before. Is it?
It's Audrey 2.
Same thing.
Yeah, but nobody says the second.
I'm sorry. I watched it one freaking time. Anyway, and especially near the very beginning when Audrey 2 was like a baby, I was like, where have I seen this before? And I was like really like racking my brain, and then I just like and then Adam looked at me, and I just looked at him, and I was like, smile, dude. Like, because it looks exactly, well, not exactly, but it looks incredibly reminiscent of the plant that he's trying to grow.
Also, technically, they both are space plants.
Yeah, and they are both space plants.
Which,
oh my god, they're connected!
Which, funnily enough, like, we leave Mars pretty quickly. Like, it opens up, and Kengo lives on Mars.
Oh, and the recent episodes with Zet in them, the chemistry between not only like those characters but those actors is just so good. I'm really loving that. We'll get to those
in a second. Well, I just wanted to finish the thing on Mars where I'm like, sorry. Yeah, it's neat. Which, if you know that era, or if you know the like Guts universe or like the TDG, it's really neat because I've watched Dinah. I've not watched Tiga. But it's also just kind of, like, I know this isn't supposed to be the same world, but, like, if it was, it's neat to see how they've just finally just are like, we're living on Mars now. That's just what we do.
Okay, side tangent. Dinah is also our dog's favorite Ultraman.
Everyone's.
Like, undoubtedly. Like, it's not even like, haha, that's my dog's favorite. Isn't it quirky? No, like, this dog legitimately, like, sat and watched and paid attention, like, with you while you watched it, and it was so funny. It's adorable. She perks up whenever you like mention it, or whenever like you hold up like the vinyl of it. She's just like, oh yes, this is my friend. Like, this dog will chew and eat anything. Like, we have to be very careful what we leave around her. But you accidentally left your Dinah vinyl in a place where she got it, and she like barely chewed on it. She's like, nah, this is friend, this is not food. Like, it's astonishing.
But, like...
I'm sorry, you can continue.
That was such a weird tangent that
I'm sorry, I had to mention it.
So it's like, it's really neat to just kind of see the idea or an alternate take of this world, because it could easily be the same world, too, but it's like, supposedly it's not. I'm waiting for them to say, actually, it's just the same world. Because, you know...
Theory and
well...
everything.
You say that, but then, remember the last time they told us, hey, this is not this. Hey... this is not Juggler. It's the same actor, but he is in no way Juggler.
Definitely not Juggler. And then, like...
4 episodes later, okay, he's Juggler.
Yeah, like, and then he just literally pops in suit, like, hey guys, what's up? And I'm like, I knew it!
And then makes a new profitable toy that I definitely bought.
3 times.
Hey, I only bought the dark one once.
I kid you not, there's 3 versions of this toy.
And they're all beautiful.
And I need all of them. I swear, if they were to come out with, like, a new version, but it's like, well, this time it's more blue, you'd be like, alright.
If it came with exclusive medals.
I can quadruple wield two in the hands, two in the
I'm
feet.
gonna General Grievous. Actually, no, there is a third one. The one that, like, the Chinese exclusive one that has the sword.
Oh, no!
I could do that.
Yeah. Chinese exclusive toys are really cool to look at, and I get jealous sometimes because they have nice accessories every once in a while.
You're
like
acting like we
tiny
couldn't
bell
try
rock.
to import them, which
Yeah.
which weirdly those are harder to find. The Korean or Chinese versions that come with better stuff. And
Oh, I'm sorry. You actually were going on
Well,
like a
but-
Tiga Dyna same world.
but like
thing.
like I'm about to say they might just help. I'm either waiting for that or something. But overall, Trigger has been fun. I do really like the Zed episodes, which, not gonna lie, Zed is a lot of why a lot of my focus right now and like thoughts and everything I've kind of just been watching recently has been Ultraman. Like, it really just got me to be like, I need more Ultraman in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, I feel having watched shows like this for 7 years, I have now just kind of learned that if I really like a show 1 year, I really shouldn't put my hopes up that it's going to be just as good the next year, which I feel like some people are doing with this show, where it's like, it's like you can't expect it to be out of the park, where it's like Sentai, if you get a really good year in Sentai, it's very rare when you get like another year of really good Sentai. Even it's like
You can't. It can't be
it's like
perfect all the time.
yeah, it's like I like it. I really do like Trigger, but it's like, man, Zet just launched everything. I was just like, oh, this is good. I like these characters, this world. It's just so good. And it's like in this one, I'm like, it has a good setup. I do like Gut Select. Gut Select is a really fun team. The only part I think that is the most disappointing outside of the Akito the scientist, oh my god, I can't actually even remember, like, young teenage commander's ghost girl.
Yuma? I believe?
Yuna, yes.
I think it's Yuma, but
I think it's Yuna because her like the other one's like Yuzare or something like that.
I don't know. Either way, like, you know.
I think.
Now you know.
But yeah, okay, I remembered it, and then, which it was neat that they immediately did like a storyline where Akito wanted to be the Ultra. He wanted to be the host of Trigger, but for whatever reason, Kengo has been chosen. Which, if they're going by Tiga, that means he is a descendant of the original Trigger.
Ortega, who knows?
Yeah, I'm about to say, I'm not sure. Also, I'm only going off what I have learned from about Tiga. I don't know all of these as facts, so if I false it,
Again, this is
sorry.
we are
I
not,
have DVDs coming in October. I can't. I'm not perfect.
We're trying. Again, like, we're not experts or anything. This is just kind of a fun thing that we like
At
to
least
talk
on
about.
Ultra, I'm not an expert yet.
Yet. Anything else you want to talk about, Trigger? Or do you want to move on to Zenkaiger?
The toys are really fun. I like the hyper keys.
Oh yeah.
Even though some of them are not electronic filled, but the other ones, all the sounds and stuff are cool. Like, I do like that you get unique sounds, and it's like, at least, like, the DX functionality isn't like that impressive.
Would you prefer them over, like, medals or something?
Oh, the medals were so good.
You're
And
just
I
like,
love the
don't make me
function.
pick.
I love the functionality of the Zet Riser, but that's a topic for another day and a video.
Yeah, Zet could obviously just get like, its whole own thing.
I could talk just about the Zet Riser.
I bet you could. This man is insane. He has a notebook literally filled with every single combination that you can make in this toy.
I haven't updated it recently.
I know. Because I will literally go insane sometimes because like the area where he likes to mess with these is actually where he films. Like, I hang out usually not that far over, and it'll just be like one noise after the other, after the other, after the other, and I'll just have to every once in a while just be like, "Stop! I'm going insane."
I see how you feel about it.
It's like, I understand, because it's like, imagine like if you're the one doing it, then it's like obviously not annoying you, and then I'm just sitting over there suffering. I'm sorry. I love and support you.
Now we have to go full soap opera, and I have to be like, "You had me kidnapped."
Oh, you have to do it over the phone though. And I'll just be like, "I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry, okay?"
You have to
We're
whisper.
Brutal Miss fans. Like, That's so much good stuff on his channel.
Oh my god.
But anyway,
Well, but like, yeah, you want to do a quick Zenkaiger we might have to do a whole Zenkaiger catch-up one.
Probably.
There's 25, 26 episodes.
What I can say is,
I like it.
I've always, like, Kamen Rider is what got me into Toku. I'd already known about Godzilla, but I feel like that's fairly typical for people that, you know...
Also Power Rangers.
Yeah, Power Rangers. I didn't really know the Sentai connections super well. Kamen Rider is what got me in. Ultraman made me stay because I loved it so much. Sentai was always kind of a back burner thing for me, but Zenkaiger violently ripped me into it, and it is now one of... Like, I have a couple of favorite
fun.
Sentai, but this one is absolutely top 5 at the very least. This one's this is such a good show. I love the characters so much. One of them is basically just me. Mumu Majinu.
Oh my god. That show is just so much fun. Like, it's super funny because it's funny because even Cure Major last year was really good.
Oh, absolutely. I'm so sad that we haven't finished it yet. We need to.
We got so far behind, and then procrastination, and then other things, and then I watched too much Gridman. Oh, well, I guess I didn't watch Gridman at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Watch Gridman.
Not just the anime. Yeah, I don't know.
But, like, yeah, no, like, I feel like we have to do Zenkaiger on its own, but it's
Definitely.
cool.
It's so good.
It's so good. It's so much fun. Like, there hasn't been a week where I'm like, oh, this. Or it's like, most episodes, I'm having a good time. I'm getting some laughs in.
Even the recap episode they did in a super clever way that usually sometimes I even skip recap episodes. I'm just like, oh, I've seen this before.
If you're weak, you skip recap episodes.
Oh, well, whatever. I don't care.
I'm the insane person who has to watch everything.
I'm just like, this is nothing new, especially if it's like just a clip show, nothing going on kind of thing. Zenkaiger, it made me watch because they just had like a storyline. It made total sense. It had good humor. I was just like, yes, so good.
And then it also ultimately led to the villains defeating themselves because the villains are terrible.
Oh my god.
But yeah, no, that's pretty much it, and I feel like, yeah, let's save that for a later episode to catch up.
Yeah, but if you haven't watched Zenkaiger yet and you're able to, just watch it. It's so incredibly charming. It's so good.
It's so good, and, like...
Catch up if you can.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Unless you're in the future.
Yeah, maybe when you're listening to this, Zenkaiger's already over.
How much you want to bet that one day we're probably going to be listening to this far in the future and just cringing to death, like just like, oh my god, oh, it was so bad. It'll happen.
So you're saying I shouldn't title this TokuBrew episode 1 two idiots ramble about Revice?
Is there something clever in that I'm not picking up on?
No, I was just supposed to be really blunt.
I thought you were like gonna make like a 1, 2, 3 joke, like, oh, episode 1 of TokuBrew, 2 people talking about Revice for 3 hours, and I got scared.
We're not going for 2 more hours.
Heck no.
But yeah,
I'm surprised we got this far, actually.
Well, there was a lot to talk about, and then we also had to talk about Trigger, which that's fun. Which I think once we have Zenkaiger caught up, also, there will probably be a recurring segment called, like, This Week in Toku, which we talk about stuff outside of news. Like, that will be strictly talking about, like, the shows and stuff.
What we're gonna try and do, specifically, like, with Revice, is we're not gonna be coming back every single episode. We just wanted to give, like, an initial first impression of the first episode and everything. And we're gonna try and come back, like, every 10 episodes or so.
Maybe.
10-ish episodes.
We'll see. We're working on things.
I feel like 10 episodes is a good chunk of time for a show that's like usually 40-ish episodes long.
If you're not lucky, it's 40.
Oh gosh. I feel like the shows that get cut are the ones that deserve it the least sometimes. Like, I got so incredibly mad. I got so mad when Build got cut short. It
didn't even get cut short.
It didn't? I thought it did.
XA did. XA got cut short for Build.
Oh yeah, that was the funny funny little tidbit of information. X-Aid was the first Toku thing, again, other than Godzilla and like Power Rangers, that I had really watched. That's what got me into Kamen Rider.
Actually, it was Amazon's. Don't lie.
Well, I first saw X-Aid, and it was very closely followed by Amazon's, but they kind of overlapped a lot. But either way, I got so mad. I got so mad when X-Aid got cut short, because I was like, oh, this next one better be worth it. It better earn that. And then it was like, the show's even better. Oh my god. Build is like top notch.
We're gonna have to do some points just have a hat. And, like, I'm going to get, like, a spinner wheel, and if we don't have a topic, we're going to just talk about that show.
That's not a
different
bad idea.
show.
I feel like at one point we should probably do, like, oh, what are some of our favorite and least favorite, or just rank ours, because I feel like I at least have enough to make a 10. I know that you've watched pretty much everything at this point.
I have not watched much of the Showa era. I would like to. There's not...
They're hard to come by.
The subs, at least, there's none that I've come by that I feel like they're really that easy. I don't speak Japanese, so I need fan subs of some kind, or official ones.
Please give us official.
Suck. I'm looking at you, Honshin. But I have watched some episode of 1971's Kamen Rider, which I really like.
Oh yeah, they had that on I think Tubi.
Yeah,
right?
It's on Tokushoutsu Tubi.
That was so fun to watch.
Which you can also watch Kuga there, which is a high recommendation.
Yeah, that's how I finished Kuga. Kuga also.
But yeah, but yeah, no, and like so I haven't really seen any of that, but I've seen every Kamen Rider from Heisei onward. Mm-hmm. So I could about say I've seen a lot. So it's currently I think the one I've watched the most for. Sentai's obviously a close behind. And Ultraman, it's like there's just not as many shows, but then meanwhile we have all of these releases. So yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I've watched everything from X-Aid to now currently, and we've like doubled.
You're working on Drive.
Like we're working on Drive. I'm loving it so far, but like I have a sprinkling of other shows, that we went back and watched. I've completed a couple, not as many as I should. I keep putting it off, but
well,
hey,
that's how you can only watch so much.
We're adults that are trying to work. You only have so much time in the day. Our dogs need to eat. They need to stay fat.
can't just podcast all day. I would say currently watching Gridman.
You seem to be enjoying that so far.
I like Gridman. We will have to do an
episode
episode
pop in every once in a while.
We'll have to at least, because
the anime I will definitely be sitting and watching.
We will at least have to talk about SSSSS Gridman.
I feel like if we don't make another podcast by the time that we need to update Revice, we'll probably end up talking about like the Gridman anime whenever we get that.
Gridman.
It's on the way though, right?
We have it.
Oh yeah, that's right. I keep thinking it's in the mail.
Yes, I keep just putting it in the mailbox and just writing, watch.
I keep putting it in the mailbox and running away.
Watch die in 7 days.
Maybe it's been eaten by the ants. We had ants in our mailbox for a while. Just a horde of ants.
All right. Okay. I think with this point we're rambling.
Yeah, probably.
Which I'm gonna have to think of a title. A lot of this was very rambly, but it's like we're just kind of going and giving our general thoughts. This has just been the fun part.
At the least, it's like half of Revice.
Yeah, it's like seeing two people's, thoughts and everything. So, do we have a sign out?
I don't think so, but hey, let us know what your thoughts are. This is very much a conversation.
Part.
But yeah, we would love to hear thoughts and opinions. Like, what do you think of Revice so far? Yeah, so let us know. Stop trying to light my hair on fire. That's rude.
So, until we think of an ending thing, this is TokuBrew.
Thank you so much for watching.
And we are out of here.
Bye-bye.